Hello, everyone. This is week 14. And this week, we will be talking about interventions. So the readings this week, there's from the Foundation of Low Vision text, there's chapter 13 and chapter 14. Chapter 13 is instructions in literacy, and chapter 14 is instruction in the use of optical devices. Both are intervention kind of chapters, but we want to make sure you have an idea as to what are the teaching strategies and how can you like some of these strategies will help you as a teacher to improve, say, the reading fluency of a Braille learner, or how do you teach for a student to use a magnification device, things like that. And since this was an optional text, we've just attached some PDFs of important tables and strategies for you to go over. These PDFs are great PDFs to store it in your drive somewhere. But because you will revisit this when you practice. So the other PDF we have attached is chapter 3 from Lueck, and this is again you're just going to revisit. We've already had seen this before. This is again for low vision devices. There are some additional resources that we've added. One is the Texas School for the Blind has a list of accommodations that this website I use a lot as a practitioner in this discipline, because after a functional vision assessment, you will have to think about the needs based on the data you receive, and these are the accommodations that you will have to add on to your report. So this has a list of accommodations for your reference. Bookmark it. It's a great resource. And then there are two tables where we've attached which is basically a conversion from visual acuity to font size. So after you conduct your functional vision assessment and then you go to an evaluation meeting, one of the most common questions that you will get from a parent or from a team member is what is the size of the font size that the student is able to see. And you can't give a 2080, 2090, 2200. You can give that. You need to convert it to a font size. So these tables will help you do that. So it can be similarly for near acuity and distance acuity. So this is a great resource to use in conjunction with near and distance charts. And then, in the past, we've had students who have told us that they don't have access to the e-charts or the Lee symbols charts that we use to test our students for distance and near acuity. So I've just attached two of these in Canvas. So that is, one is a free downloadable AGER charts. This is for testing a near vision acuity. Just make sure before you use these cards, you read the instructions and about at what distance you want to be showing these cards to determine the near vision, and also how do you interpret the results of these charts. And then there is an app called Smart Optometry app. There's a link that we have put, and this app is free, and it has the distance e-charts, it's the color charts, and all of those charts that we use during our functional vision. These are definitely not accurate. So this is not something you should be using when you're practicing. If you have access to a Lee symbols chart, I would highly recommend using those. Then this is only when you don't have access to e-charts, or you don't have an option where a TVI is providing you with these materials. These are free and these are downloadable. So use them for your functional vision assessment for in case you don't have access to those charts. And then there is a link to a webinar from Perkins School for the Blind on learning media assessments. As we mentioned earlier, so when we write a report as a TVI, we include the functional vision assessment, learning media assessment, assistive technology assessments if you have done, and the orientation and mobility. At least in our district, we combine all of it in one report so that parents have access to one report for all vision needs. So, so the learning media assessments, we will focus a little more next in the course EDSE 549, which is the assessments course. So, but we want you to have an idea on this. So just go through this webinar. It's very interesting for you as well. So it's a good webinar. So that the link is attached in the Canvas. And then this is just for your information. We added a document to create your own low vision simulator. So we use simulators during in-services. So after you add a student in your service, you need to conduct an in-service. You go to and you kind of have to see with the team and with peers sometimes, what does a student see? So you can, like for example, if a student has cataract, you want to, during in-service, we will provide these simulators so that the teachers have an idea as to what the student is actually seeing. So these are great. I mean, if you have the time, these are wonderful to make your own simulators. And then, as I mentioned before, the intervention piece, we will be working on the assessment scores, which is EDSE 549. And so why are we mentioning it, talking about it here is because after our FEA, the purpose of the FEA is to determine needs, student needs. So in your FEA report, you will write something called educational implications, where you will add the accommodations and the student needs. So the accommodations are something that you provide. So for example, you provide a CCTV, an optical magnification device. You provide a distance device, a monocular. So these are things these are accommodations. And the needs is like the student needs to access a spelling test by using a magnification device, or the student needs access to a website, access to a website that is for testing or something like that. So just see the difference, and then you will have to write the educational implications at the end of your functional vision assessment report. So that's why we are mentioning about the interventions and what are the kind of optical devices and things like that, for you get an idea as to what is out there for you to determine the needs of your students. And then, so for activities this week, start working on the final assignment. So in this week, as I said last week, we have posted all the videos of me assessing SADI, and if you are choosing option 2 of final assignment, the major assignment 4. So the option 2 is to watch the videos of me performing the functional vision assessment components on SADI. I've also attached Sadie's eye report, and I've cleared all the private, her name and things like that, her last name and eye doctor's name, all that is blanked out. So you will just have details about her eye report. I've included some background information, and then there are many videos of me performing different components of the functional vision assessment. So start working on that if you're choosing option 2. And if you have chosen option 1, where you might have already assessed a student, and then you are in the process of writing a report. So writing a functional vision assessment report takes a lot of time. Even after so many years, I take about 3 hours to write a report. So make sure, we don't want you to cram everything at the last minute. So make sure you distribute your work and start working on the final assignment. And it has a lot of point to it as well. And then there is discussion as well this week. That's about it. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.